Good morning, everybody. This is a test of the Gulfport School District bandwidth this morning, and I appreciate you all being here as we begin to open the 2021 school year. Thank you very much for being here this morning. I will tell you that it's been an interesting summer. I've seen many of you working in our summer academy and working through programs that we've done this summer. But I'm going to tell you that I'm sitting behind this desk has had more paper piled on it than ever before as we've tried to navigate and work through the summer of COVID-19. It's been interesting, to say the least. Let me say this, though, that I have really missed the noise. I've missed the chatter in the hallways. I've missed the screams of delight on the playground. I've missed listening to you guys and gals talking in your classrooms and our workrooms. And I guess I've really just plain missed the hustle and bustle that was taken away from us on March the 13th. And I know that we're kind of all, though we're very anxious, we are all kind of feeling down, I guess, that was ripped away from us and we lost the 9 weeks and last school year with our children. So I want to start this morning. Let me just say welcome. Welcome to the 2021 school year, whatever that's going to look like as we go through the year. I see it as a challenging year, but also see it as a year of great growth and resilience. I want to begin this morning with some presentations, if you don't mind. And I'd like to ask our principals at this point to go to the front of the room or the room that they're in. And I want to recognize some people this morning that have really gone above and beyond to help our school district as we continue to navigate the pandemic that surrounds us today. Since we moved to school to home learning, this group of ladies has been with us every day, always positive, always smiling. Today, the Gulfport School District would like to present the first Gulfport School District hero in the midst of 2020 COVID-19 pandemic to our school nurses. Congratulations, ladies, and thank you very much for the work that you've been able to do. So let's everybody give them applause, whether you're in the room with them or not. Let's give them a gigantic applause and say thank you. I will tell you that this group has worked this summer academy. They've been everywhere. They helped us with getting our employees back in the building. And I have yet to see one of them whine or cry or frown. They have this nurse face that's on them that is just wonderful. And I thank you very much for our school nurses and all that you've done to get us to this point. And I guess, quite frankly, everything you're going to do as we continue through this school year. There are also 3 other individuals that really need to be recognized today. Working with the Gulfport School District Department of Instructional Programs, and several of you across the district. 2 of them have edited every video that was shown through the WLOX Balanced Educational TV series. Dr. Harper, at this time, will you please present Kyle Elward and Wesley Rogers, their Gulfport School District Hero Honors. Congratulations to you 2 guys, and thank you for the hours and hours of work from the Bounce videos to Gulfport High graduation all the way to the present. Thank you very much for your work. There's also another individual that has worked tirelessly and really behind the scenes. And if you weren't sliding around Gulfport High School in the late hours of the night or the early hours of the morning, you'd have never noticed this individual. But this individual, along with several of our students early and also been by himself late, using our 3D printers, produced masks for our local hospitals and produced face shields for our local hospitals. And he's also prepared face shields for our nurses and for our teachers as we begin this school year. So Dr. Harper, if you will, please honor Mr. Clinton Brawley. Finally, I want to acknowledge one of our assistant principals. The Gulfport School District, as part of its remediation plan, accomplished the amazing feat of sponsoring the GSD Summer Academy. the leader of this project, and everybody on the team that I have talked to about this project. This was pulled off and managed and operated by our own assistant principal, Ms. Robin Oringer. Robin, thank you very much for what you've done. All that hugging needs to stop. I can't do too much hugging now. Guys have social distance in this world. Oh, the world we live in, the world we live in. At least you were wearing, look, we were wearing masks and the nurse took the picture. So I guess we're okay. I guess we're okay. All right. During the course of today and also this week, we'll be traveling to the district to present some of these other honors to departments and individuals. But I will tell you that those nurses, the 3 men at Gulfport High School and Ms. Oringer have pulled off great feats for us. And I really appreciate their contribution to the district, as I do many others of you. But I thought it would be remiss if we did not honor them today in our opening convocation. So as you know, most of you that know me very well know that I've spent a lot of time worrying about things and reflecting. And I want to start today by simply saying this. Over this weekend, and as I got up this morning, I am really trying hard to put the sudden changes that we had to experience back in the spring behind me. I know that this turn of events has presented us a crisis, and a lot of things is going on right now, and we're trying to play the blame game with each other of what's right and what's wrong and how this is all supposed to work. But really and truly, there's no one to blame here. There's no right or wrong. There's no need for us to be separated. It's us about getting us together, doing what we can to protect ourselves and protect our children. It is truly a time to be together. It is a time to reflect on what we've done so far, with the understanding that we should all be finding ourselves as better people. We developed a strong sense of sharing, of care, of respect, of honesty, and of humility as we have gone through this summer and as we prepare to open this school year. Yes, it is time for all of us to address the concerns that we have. Please continue to address concerns. The only way we can solve problems is that we know they're there. It's time to address the weaknesses that we are experiencing so that we as a team can become a lot wiser as we face the challenges of the upcoming school year and the future that's ahead of us. I challenge you to do the same. I challenge you that as you go through the day and you're listening to our normal staff development stuff, think about what we can do to be safe, to do those things we know we have to do, wash our hands, wear our masks, social distance the best we can, and let's begin to take care of our children. In 2 days, we begin the formal learning through a whole bunch of means that we've come up with. We've got the virtual piece, we've got the in-class piece with all kind of things that go with it. At the end of the day, it's our role, because we got to all understand that we cannot stop the learning process. That learning has no boundaries. That the fact that we're in this pandemic is in fact preparation for becoming productive members of society, for problem solving, for those things that we believe in as a school district. So in the days, the weeks, and the months to come, we will all together do what we need to do. And yes, we will build resiliency. You know, we've always said that we're a resilient community, and hurricanes are a lot easier to deal with than pandemics, I assure you, or what I believe is for sure. But at the end of the day, that resiliency that we need to develop in ourselves and our children is how we will inspire children to become lifelong learners, problem solvers, and productive members of society, so that as we pass the torch on to our children, the next time we're in this situation or one like it, they also will lead us and make sure that we do the right thing by staying to our mission of taking care of our children. Ms. Zahidi at Gulfport High School, in the conversation I was having earlier, made a very good point. And I think it's very important this year to understand that it is not about rigor, relevance, and relationships. Listen closely. More importantly this year, it is totally opposite. It is truly about relationships, relevance, and rigor. So there are going to be days in class where the math, science, English, and social studies may not be taught to the level that you're used to teaching it. But there's a relationship that needs to be built. There's conversations that need to be had. And I really want to challenge you over the first 2 or 3 weeks of school, though we will be talking about math, science, English, and social studies, that you really spend time on the relationships. Your relationships with the teachers and your partners and administrators and custodians and technology support and cafeteria workers, those are important. Being able to talk to each other, being able to be honest with each other, being able to help us through quarantine situations that are going to occur, being able to support each other. Those are going to be important. And more importantly, we are going to receive children, both virtually and in person or face-to-face, that have had a tough 5 months. And I do not mean just educationally. I mean that we have children who have experienced things they probably have never experienced before. Anxiety and stress and the pressures of those have found our kids in situations that, unlike any other generation of children in the current time that we've dealt with. And it's hard to say, but it's probably the truth that this is more like a wartime anxiety and depression that may be going on. So please spend time with our students and work on the relationships. Remind them of the relevance, and let's be rigorous, but those relationships are going to be tremendously important. As we go through the day, as we begin the school year, I want each of you to remember why you became a teacher. None of us signed up to deal with a pandemic. None of us signed up in 2005 to deal with a hurricane, but yet we signed up, and we signed up to do what is best for our children and take care of our children. And that is the hard debate that we're having right now, what that really means. So as you go through the day, I wanted to just ask you again to reflect on what it means to be a teacher and what you signed up to do as we have gone through this process and will continue to go through this process. I'm going to close today with a video, and this will be my last piece. I won't come back on. One, because I don't know how to shift from the video back to the group. No, just kidding. I'm going to close today with a video. And I want to say that at the end of that video, if you will, in your rooms, just take a minute of silence and just reflect on that video. And Mr. Bellapani, I'm counting on you to text me to make sure the video is getting out. So if you don't text me, I'm going to freak out and go crazy. At the end of that video, I need you to take about a minute, and I need you to reflect on what this video, the lesson that this video is trying to teach us. And then answer the question to yourself, will you be a point of light for your students? Will you be Mr. Butler? Here we go.
I grew up in New Orleans. My mother worked as a daycare assistant at the Jewish Community Center. The man that I was told was my father was a carpenter and a functional alcoholic. He was abusive to my mother, and not more than a baby herself, when she married this man, she tried her best to protect me from him. But with no life skills of her own, she did what she knew how to do. Friday was payday for him, so he would come home happy, but that was short-lived. He would go out and return a few hours later drunk and angry, yelling and fighting her. As I look back over my life, there were many people that had a hand in shining light into my darkness when I was growing up. I had just started junior high school, and in order for me to get to high school, I had to walk through the drug dealers, literally step over the and the drug addicts, walk through a graveyard, then in the next block past gang members, and then go through the projects, and then come to a 6-lane intersection, and it was always busy, but just beyond that was the school. Well, one day as I'm approaching this intersection, I hear this voice saying, "Will someone help me cross?" He was in a suit. He had a cooler in a hand and a folded lawn chair in one hand and his cane in the other. Will someone help me cross, he said. People kept ignoring him, walking past him with their busy lives. We were poor, but we were busy. I don't know why poor people are so busy. I said, I'll help you in my 13-year-old changing voice. He said, well, thank you, son. May I have your shoulder? I said, yes, sir. He said, don't trick me now. I said, no, sir, I won't. We crossed the street. I asked him where he was going. He told me that he was going to my school to sell praline candies to the kids. So I helped him to the school, and he said thank you, and he told me that God would bless me for my kindness. He and I became friends. We took that walk every day. I came out of school one afternoon, and there he was sitting outside in that lawn chair selling praline candies, 25 cents. And I saw one of the kids try to buy candy, right? And they gave Mr. Butler $1, and they told him it was a $5 bill. I stepped in and I said, Mr. Butler, this is a scam. Needless to say, I had a lot of enemies at that school. But it didn't matter. I was glad to do it. You see, Mr. Butler was one of the first men in my life to see me. And what made it all the more special is that he was blind. He was a point of light. One morning I was late meeting him, and as I walked up to the intersection, I could see Mr. Butler standing there, not saying a word. So I tipped up behind him and I said, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. He said, I know you're there, son. I said, yes, sir, I am. I said, I didn't hear you saying, will someone help me cross? He said, no, I was listening for you. I said, you were? He said, yes. Sometimes in life, son, when you pray and you've said all you can say, all you have to do is stand and wait and listen. What a point of light he was. There are many people in this world that are wanting, waiting, saying, asking, begging, hoping. Will someone help me cross? We all have the power to be a point of light.